Hi, I thought I'd try to help make sense of what we all watched and unfold this weekend. Because for many, it didn't feel like news. It felt like tension you could almost chew. In my lifetime, I've had the privilege and occasional migraine of negotiating deals where on paper they were not supposed to happen. I've even taught it, which is, I guess, a polite way of saying I've made enough mistakes to now sound confident in public. So here's the lens that I would use to think about this chaos, because it's not. Let's start here. When both sides believe they have leverage, one economic, the other military, you don't have a negotiation. What you have is a controlled collision. No one's sitting there thinking, you know what? You've convinced me. This isn't persuasion, it's physics. It's about taking two types of power that don't naturally speak the same language and forcing them into a relationship. Step one, you got to ignore what they say, watch what they fear. Both sides arrive with their highlight reels, right? One says, we control money and trade and movement in the ocean. And the other one says, we control force, escalation, and we can keep pounding you. Impressive, yeah, terrifying even. Round of applause for everybody. But none of that matters, because the real question is, what are they afraid of losing? Because leverage isn't what you have, it's what the other side can't afford to lose. Economic power fears instability and time dragging on. Military power fears getting stuck and costs and losing legitimacy. So the first real move, turn economic strength into time pressure. Turn military strength into risk exposure. Now you're dealing in reality, not press releases, not tweets on Truth Social. Second step is find the everyone goes to be a winner zone. Every deal has a quiet middle ground where both sides can claim victory. Neither side looks weak. It's called the zone of possible agreement, ZOPA. It's never obvious. It's buried under speeches and egos and domestic politics and tweets. The real audience isn't across the table, it's back home. Step three, what they say versus what they mean. We keep control. Usually means we need security. Sanctions stay. Usually means we need behavior to change. If you argue what's said, it's a fight. If you understand what's meant, it's a negotiation. That's when trades happen. Access for stability, relief versus compliance, legitimacy for restraint, different currencies, right? Same deal. Step four, this is a process, not a movie. Peace doesn't happen in one dramatic scene, it's staged. So stop the bleeding, step one, that's ceasefires, de-escalation, etc. Then build trust slowly, small promises that are actually kept. Tackle the real issues, security, territory, governance, etc. Then lock it in. So breaking it hurts more than keeping it. It's not glamorous, but it works. Step five, unequal power is the whole point. People say you can't trade economic power for military power. You absolutely can. You just have to think sideways. Military restraints for economic opportunity, territory for security guarantees. You're not balancing power here. You're linking it. Step six, time is doing half the work. One side is thinking long term and the other is thinking right now. Good negotiators align both. Short-term wins for one side, long-term stability for the other. Really, really important to understand that. So let it sink in. Because time either pressures or protects. Step seven, you have to let everyone save face. No deal survives humiliation. Both sides must walk away saying, We've achieved what we needed. This is a good deal. This usually involves creative wording, symbolic wins, a little bit of diplomatic poetry, right? And then step 8 is trust is nice, but enforcement is better. A deal without consequences is just a pause with better grammar. You need verification, clear penalties, automatic responses. And step 9, you need to expect someone to hate this deal. Peace creates losers too. It's natural. Someone always benefits from conflict, loses power when it ends. If you don't account for them, they'll account for you. The core truth, this isn't about who wins. It's definitely not. It's about one question. Can you turn fear into structure? Because fear of collapse leads to cooperation. Fear of escalation leads to urgency. Deals happen when continuing the fight becomes more expensive than ending it. Yeah? Final thought, all right? Peace doesn't eliminate power imbalance. It rewires it. So both sides keep their dignity. Gain something real and become just dependent enough on each other to think twice before breaking the agreement. Because in the real world, it's not trust that sustains peace. It's mutual dependence with consequences baked in. So next time you're watching the news or you're doom scrolling and it all feels a bit overwhelming, remember this. This isn't chaos. This is choreography. Messy, imperfect, occasionally dramatic, but choreography nonetheless. Please remember that. Watch for those signals. Who's conceding slightly? Who's buying time? Who's playing to their own audience? And yes, who might be quietly sabotaging things? Once you see that, the noise ends up becoming patterns emerging. And hopefully the anxiety eases just a little bit. Because while it may not look like it, very little of this is left to chance. This will pass. It won't be perfect, but a new normal will emerge, as it always does. And I hope that helped. God bless.